Hey there, wonderful audience who have joined the revolving relationship today. Get ready to embark on an incredible adventure with us. Subscribe now and let's explore the concealed secrets and uncover the truth together. Today, we will delve into a challenging topic that is relevant to all of us on our journey: handling deceit and betrayal. Well, my friend, today's story about OP wife of 13 years had EA with coworker. They're in R but find it much harder to tolerate the things about her and their relationship that be never liked, and it's depressing. Let's see what happened. In early 2023, my wife of 13 years came to me feeling bad about feeling like she wanted attention from other men. She described it as being purely in her head and she hadn't pursued anything. I wasn't super upset, as she is normally very hard on herself. High-control religious upbringing, and it's not a completely abnormal thing to wonder if people find us attractive, etc. In the spring she came to me again, admitting the same thing but saying she had been actively seeking out the attention a man she works with, being flirtatious at work and sending messages frequently via text, Instagram and work chat. I was more upset this time, saying that well, feelings are one thing, I wouldn't want her acting on those feelings. We talked it out and she was very apologetic, but I still left the house for a couple hours to cool off mentally. This is a big deal for me, as I'm a very even-tempered person, not quick to anger or strong displays of emotion. She agreed to stop communicating with the person at work except for work matters. Fast forward to late September 2023, and we're sitting on the couch after a really fun night with some friends. We were just being lazy, scrolling on her Instagram, laughing at memes, etc., when I see a notification at the top of the screen for a message from the guy. My heart sinks, but I try to give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe he's just reaching out and she isn't reciprocating. A few days go by and I can't shake the feeling something is going on, knowing I'm snooping. I don't ever do this, even though WW has snooped through my phone constantly since we got married. I reluctantly open up Instagram on our computer knowing she had been logged in there. I go to her messages and lo and behold, there's a conversation between the two of them from the night we were with friends, and I saw the notification. The messages only go back to that evening, so I have no idea what's gone on before, but he's telling her he's out driving Uber, and she says come pick me up. He replies send me your location, and she says one day I will pay you to drive around with me, and he responds you don't have to pay me, and it ends there. This had all been going on while I was upstairs putting our 3 kids to bed for the night. That night I confront her, saying I saw the messages and I know she's still been talking to him. At first she is angry with me for looking through her messages, but I explain about seeing the notification, etc., and I know she's just being defensive. I press in and demand to know what's going on, and she finally admits she had not been able to stop seeking out his attention. She frames it as an addiction that she can't control, and uses the endorphin hit she gets from it to escape feeling bad. I calmly but seriously explained how hurt and disrespected I felt, and that she needed to decide what was more important to her: getting validation and the rush pursuing someone, or what we have in our relationship and our family. She is quiet for what seems like minutes, so I finally tell her to go for a walk and think about it. She does, and maybe 30 or 40 minutes later she comes back into the kitchen and apologizes and says she wants to be better and make it work. I agree but reiterate how hurt I am and that I'm gonna need time to process. She reluctantly agrees to me sleeping in our guest room for a bit. She was worried about what the kids would think. I just told them I needed a change of surroundings for a few nights to sleep well, to give me some space. We talk a few more times over the next couple of days, and I get what is, as far as I know, full disclosure about everything. She admits it was an EA, but said it was never physical, and that often AP wouldn't give her the time of day, and that was what made her so determined. That when she could get his attention it was like she wanted and made her feel extra worthy. AP is also married. The notion that she was seeking attention from AP, because she has never been happy with my level of communication or emotional expression. The most common topic of arguments in our house, and another long post on its own probably. gets brought up, and I explain how hurtful that is, since she is fully aware that she has anger issues and generalized anxiety that are pervasive in her life that I don't enjoy. But I'm mature enough to handle that stuff without getting emotionally involved with other women. She gets mad surprise about this, but later recants and agrees I'm right. I also tell her that I no longer want her to accompany on a trip I'm about to go on for 5 days. Plan was for her to come along as I was traveling back to my hometown for a performance with a band I used to play with. She is upset but gets it, and agrees. Meanwhile, she pressures me to not say anything to friends or family I see, as she's worried about what they'll think of her. I go on the trip, and take her old phone with me. No longer active but still signed in for our kids to text friends etc. Has all the data back to a year prior. Again, I know it's snooping and not really immature, but I really had the sense I wasn't getting the whole scope of things. Sure enough, I look back through text between her and friends during the time after her confession in the spring and my discovery in September. And she's talking to them about how she thinks about him all time, and how when he left work for a few weeks on vacation, she cried frequently because she missed him. And her clear infatuation with this person goes back almost a year and a half. I text her and reveal I know all this and how I found out. She of course reacts with anger that I looked at her messages, even though she told me I have full access to her phone now, and that she snoops through my phone near daily. But I explain that what is so hurtful is how she painted things as this thing going on in her mind, wanting attention from other men, when in reality she had been specifically trying to get close to someone, and after even admitting that later on she continued and actively hid it from me, she eventually admits how messed up it all has been. Not without getting a subtle hint that my quiet personality is partially at fault. And also says if I need to talk to anyone about it while I am gone, that's okay. We get through the trip, saying we both want to make it work. More conversations follow over the next few weeks, and we do a couple sessions with a counselor my wife had been seeing. But it becomes pretty clear to me early on that the counselor is more interested in digging into my childhood and working on me than addressing our current problem. I bail on her, but my wife is continuing IC and also been trying to get into Love Addicts Anonymous meetings, but they're hard to find, especially ones that aren't all men. We have been doing pretty well. She still works with AP, but has gone NC apart from completely essential work stuff as far as I know. She really is trying to work on herself, addressing addictive behaviors, quit drinking, got off social media, etc. and staying in counseling. We're doing okay and have some great times, but I still have some bad days where I think about things more. My biggest problem right now is that every negative part of her personality, easily angered, often anxious, kind of controlling, that I used to be able to take in stride, forgive and move on, now feels like way more of a big deal to me. I've had a couple instances where I snapped back at her about how she was treating me, which is not like me at all. In the light of her EA, the last 13 years feel far more heavy on my heart than I thought. It's easy for me to get in a headspace where I wonder, have I ever really been happy in our marriage? If I'm totally honest, our 3 kids, 10, and 12, are what have kept me going and made me decide to keep reconciling. If we were childless, I would have ended things. But I do love her, I can't help that. And she does have some great qualities and we often have a lot of fun. However, I find myself viewing our relationship with the opposite of rose-colored glasses. So now we're 8 months post-due date. Any advice for me? Next part is coming. Please leave us a comment, like and subscribe. Have a nice day and see you later.